Welcome everyone to week 12. Week 12 we will focus on social media. So our two topics will be social media for SEO and social networking. The difference between these two is subtle. Introduction to social networking will get us more into the specific platforms of social media, and then social media for SEO will be more of a broad overview of how your social media strategy can positively impact your search engine optimization. As a reminder, Project 4 is due this week. If you are watching this and have not started on that, please start immediately, as that does take some time to launch your campaign, gather the data, make adjustments, launch your campaign again. It's not too complex, but it does take a while. It does take some time. So keep that in mind, and then of course you'll have your reflection like always. So let's jump into our first prepare assignment. In this assignment, as I mentioned, you'll get into the correlation between search engine optimization and social media. And the crux of this assignment is really to describe a plan that you'll outline to optimize your social media, include short-term and long-term goals, and explain how you'll measure success. This is a key piece, short-term and long-term goals, because as you first launch your social media strategy, it won't make a huge impact right away on your search engine optimization. This takes time. It takes time to drive traffic. It takes time to connect the two. And so you want to think about things you'll do in the short term, but the impact you'll have will be long term. And measuring your success is obviously a key portion of this, both in the short term and in the long term. You want to know if what you're doing in the short term is effective. And the videos and readings here will walk you through that. The second assignment is your introduction to social networking. And this assignment, as I mentioned, will get a little bit more into the specific platforms of social media. And your assignment here is to list 4 social media sites in which you can market your website, and then choose one choose one that you listed and explain the specific steps that you'll take to market your website. As you do this, consider the demographic that you're aiming to reach. Social media platforms are still segmented into demographics. So Facebook on Facebook you're going to reach the more mature population. On say TikTok, Snapchat, you're going to reach a younger population. Pinterest is still geared more towards female population, and so think a little bit about those demographics, who you're trying to reach, who would be most effective for your product and service. And you also want to link that up with your personality, your interests. What are you more familiar with? Some social media sites, maybe you want to start there because you're familiar with the platform. But make sure, whatever it is, that you have a plan. Social media is really where potential customers get to know the personality of your company. It's what makes your company much more human to them. And so you can have a lot of fun, you can show a lot of personality and connect in ways where people get to know your brand. And so the decision to purchase a product is a really natural one, because they've gotten to know you on social media. They feel like they understand what you're about, and they may not need your product at the time, but when the need arises, they know your brand because they've interacted with you on social media. And that's one of the key advantages to effective social networking. And that will be about it. So this week is fairly straightforward, just the two topics, and that Project 4 is obviously the key piece. So hopefully you have time with just 2 simple, straightforward prepare assignments, a little bit more time to focus on Project 4 as needed, and then take a deep breath, because week 13 is very involved, and we'll have quite a few to-dos for next week, followed by week 14, which is pretty simple and straightforward. Thanks, everyone.